Imagine a world where patients with hereditary angioedema, HAE, no longer live in fear of sudden, excruciating swelling episodes that can strike without warning, a bold vision brought closer by groundbreaking clinical results. This rare genetic disorder causes unpredictable attacks of swelling in various body parts, often leading to intense pain, breathing difficulties, and a lifelong dependence on preventive medications. But here's where it gets intriguing. Intellia Therapeutics is unveiling data that could transform this reality forever. Let's dive into the details and see what makes this announcement so compelling. Intellia Therapeutics shares encouraging combined phase 1/2 results for Lonvoguran Ziclumeran, Lonvo-z, in individuals with hereditary angioedema. Intellia Therapeutics. Significant, consistent, and long-lasting decreases in kallikrein levels were noted. Out of 32 participants administered a 50 mg dose of Lonvo-z by the data cutoff, 31, 97%, experienced no attacks and required no long-term prophylaxis, LTP. 24, 75%, remained attack-free and LTP-free for at least 7 months, extending up to 32 months. In the subgroup of 11 patients initially given the 50 mg dose in phase 2, 10 stayed attack-free and LTP-free. The treatment continues to demonstrate a favorable safety profile, with follow-up extending to 3 years and no emerging long-term concerns. Cambridge, Massachusetts, November 8, 2025, Globe Newswire. Intellia Therapeutics Incorporated NASDAQ, NTLA, a pioneering company in clinical-stage gene editing dedicated to transforming healthcare through CRISPR-based treatments, has today released promising clinical findings from an aggregated review of all individuals treated with a 50 mg dose of Lonvo-z in its active phase 1/2 trial for those afflicted with hereditary angioedema, HAE. These insights were delivered via an oral session at the American College of Allergy, Asthma and Immunology, ACAAI, 2025 Annual Scientific Meeting in Orlando, Florida. We believe today's findings reinforce our conviction that Lonvo-z has the power to fundamentally alter the landscape of HAE management, stated Intellia President and Chief Executive Officer John Leonard, MD, with follow-up data spanning up to 3 years. The overwhelming majority of patients who underwent a single 50 mg infusion of Lonvo-z, encompassing 10 out of our initial 11 phase 2 participants at this dosage, have been completely free from attacks and LTP as of the cutoff date. We're eagerly anticipating the primary results from our upcoming phase 3 HALO trial around mid-2026. Hereditary angioedema represents a heavy toll on patients, characterized by the uncertainty of attack timing, the agony of extended swelling, and the necessity for ongoing therapies, remarked Dr. Danny Cohn, MD, PhD, an internist in the Department of Vascular Medicine at Amsterdam University Medical Center. The results unveiled today instill optimism that Lonvo-z might alleviate or even eliminate these challenges through just one administration. I'm enthusiastic about the outcomes from the continuing HALO Phase 3 trial, combined Phase 1/2 examination. Intellia's international Phase 1 and 2 trial assesses the safety, tolerability, pharmacokinetics, and pharmacodynamics of Lonvo-z among adults with HAE types 1 or 2. Today's discussion drew from an integrated analysis of the 32 patients who received a single 50 mg administration of Lonvo-z through intravenous delivery in the Phase 1 of 2 study. Among these, 15 started with the 50 mg dose on day 1, 4 from Phase 1 and 11 from Phase 2, while 17 were treated post-unblinding in Phase 2 for the main evaluation. 11 had previously been given a 25 mg dose, deemed insufficient, and 6 had received placebo. The analysis concluded on August 29, 2025. All participants showed substantial, steady, and prolonged reductions in plasma kallikrein, averaging an 89% drop by month 24. Across the 32 patients, 31, 97%, were attack-free and LTP-free at the data cutoff, with 24, 75%, maintaining this status for no less than 7 months, up to 32 months for those with the longest monitoring. For the 11 patients originally dosed at 50 mg in Phase 2, 10 achieved attack-free and LTP-free status, 9 for 7 to 32 months and 1 for under 6 months. The single patient not meeting these criteria saw a 59% baseline reduction in monthly attacks. Safety profile. Following the 50 mg dose, the therapy exhibited excellent tolerability over up to 3 years of observation, without any new long-term dangers surfacing. Common adverse events tied to treatment, TEAEs. In the first 28 days post-infusion included infusion reactions, tiredness, and headaches. TEAs most often noted 28 days or more after infusion through long-term follow-up, LTFU, encompassed nasopharyngitis, upper respiratory infections, back discomfort, joint pain, and COVID-19. One instance of grade 2 AST elevation was documented across all 50 mg recipients, beginning on day 1 and resolving spontaneously by day 4 in an individual previously treated with 25 mg of Lonvo-z. The safety profile for the 50 mg dose in those who first received the suboptimal 25 mg aligned with the broader trial cohort. No meaningful changes occurred in liver enzymes or clotting factors. A single serious adverse event, SAE, a pulmonary embolism, arose in a patient with multiple predisposing factors a year after infusion, resolving fully without lasting effects. In long-term follow-up, N equals 17. No SAEs or TEAEs were linked to the 50 mg dose as of the cutoff. And this is the part most people miss. A single 50 mg treatment with Lonvo-z is now under further scrutiny in individuals with HAE through the global Phase 3 HALO trial, which wrapped enrollment in September 2025. The ACAAI presentation materials can be accessed in the Scientific Publications and Presentations area of IntelliaTx.com. About the Lonvoguran Ziclumeran, Lonvo-z, previously NTLA, 2002, clinical initiative. Intellia's active Phase 1/2 trial explores the safety and effectiveness of Lonvo-z for adults with type 1 or 2 hereditary angioedema, HAE. The Phase 1 segment is a global, open-label study aimed at pinpointing the optimal dose for Phase 2 advancement. Recruitment for both trial phases has concluded. Intellia also finished enrolling participants in the international Phase 3, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled HALO trial in September 2025. For additional information, check clinicaltrials.gov, NCT 05120830, about Lonvo-z. Leveraging the Nobel Prize-winning CRISPR/Cas9 innovation, Lonvo-z holds potential as the inaugural one-dose remedy for hereditary angioedema, HAE. This experimental in vivo CRISPR-driven gene modification therapy is under investigation in the Phase 3 HALO trial for HAE and aims to avert attacks by deactivating the kallikrein B1, KLKB1 gene, responsible for producing prekallikrein, the protein that precedes kallikrein. Preliminary Phase 1/2 results indicated sharp declines in attack frequencies alongside reliable, profound, and enduring decreases in kallikrein concentrations. Lonvo-z has earned 5 prestigious regulatory acknowledgments, such as orphan drug and RMAT status from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA. The Innovation Passport from the UK Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, MHRA, Priority Medicines, Prime designation from the European Medicines Agency, and Orphan Drug Designation, ODD, from the European Commission. About Intellia Therapeutics. Intellia Therapeutics Incorporated, NASDAQ, NTLA, stands at the forefront of clinical-stage gene editing, committed to reshaping medicine via CRISPR-based solutions. From its start, Intellia has concentrated on applying gene editing to craft pioneering, unmatched therapies tackling critical unmet needs and evolving patient care standards. The company's profound expertise in science, technology, and clinical progress, bolstered by its talented team, is establishing benchmarks for an entirely new therapeutic category. To maximize gene editing's promise, Intellia is broadening its CRISPR platform with advanced editing tools and delivery methods. Discover more at IntelliaTx.com and follow at IntelliaX. Forward-looking statements. This press release includes forward-looking statements from Intellia Therapeutics Incorporated, Intellia, or the company, as defined by the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. These encompass, but aren't limited to, statements expressing Intellia's expectations about the safety, effectiveness, progress, and promotion of its clinical projects for Lonvoguran Ziclumeran or Lonvo-z, formerly NTLA 2002, targeting hereditary angioedema, HAE, such as completing the global Phase 3 HALO study